Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Aim with Purpose. I'm with my co host, Isaiah Smallwood. And in today's episode, we have a very special guest, my good friend, Francisco Mejia. He is a video assistant for the Washington Commanders. Thank you. On today's episode, we are going to cover who he is, what he does for a living, how he got that opportunity, and then finish it off with a story throughout his videographer career. With that, would you like to get into the first question?
Tell us about yourself, my
Yes,
boy.
sir. Who is Francisco Mejia right now today?
Well, I mean, just before we get all deep and everything, I'd say, obviously, I'm a pretty young, aspiring person, I'd say. Considering my age, I mean, I'm only 21. I think I've accomplished a lot. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but
Definitely in your own lane. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. I mean, where do I even start? I guess in high school, my number one priority was actually going to play football at a college, whether it be D1, D2, or D3. But clearly that didn't work out, right? My junior year, we were actually playing against Robinson, and after that there was a season-ending career with my ankle. Did I say season-ending career?
You did say season-ending career,
Season-ending
but we both.
Season-ending
Yeah.
injury
You
that
feel
ended
me?
up ending my career. That's what I
So
meant.
some could say it was a career-ending injury.
Career-ending injury.
Yes.
Yes. Well, after that, I still want to be part of the team, obviously. So, I know the years prior there have been people who would record high videos for the football team.
Yep.
And would post it for the announcements or whatever. So, I had a friend, Luke Cockler, right? Remember Luke?
Yep.
Yeah, he did videos too. He did YouTube videos a lot. He was really more into the cinematography and like the super creative, crazy videos. So, I went up to him one day. I'm like, hey, we want to collab, make some videos together. So, that was at the start of the season, and from then on, we would go to every football game. We would, record whatever we needed, all the plays, everything that we needed, highlights, create a highlight reel, and post it to the announcements. And originally that's not even what I wanted to do, right? It was just something I thought would be pretty cool for the team, and honestly, pretty cool for me.
Yeah.
So going into college, I actually majored in aerospace engineering.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was aerospace engineering.
It's a curveball.
Yeah,
Left
right.
Field.
Yeah. Well, and that was mostly just because I was a huge physics nerd. I mean, I still am. I do research on my own, mostly astrophysics, some quantum physics. But besides that, I went into it. I'm like, as much. It'd be cool to be an physicist, and do all the science stuff. But I mean, I just hate math?
And being realistic with your goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate calculus. I was never good at calculus. I was good at physics, but I wasn't good at calculus, and that just wasn't going to work. And I sort of came to the realization that I'd rather not spend most of my days, hitting the books, doing math every single day. That's just gonna. It wasn't really for me, right? So, I remember doing those videos in high school. So I'm like, why not try and just make it into a career, right? Sort of just see where it goes.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing film and video studies instead.
What year was this? In college?
Years. Yeah, this was in college.
This is your freshman year of college?
Yeah. I changed my mind pretty quickly, and I mean, I
For real.
I had a couple minors, right? I still wanted to keep something
Yeah.
as a backup in case film and video doesn't work out, because that's a hustle, man.
Oh,
I mean, especially when people are trying to be more creative with it and get into Hollywood and have these big breaks. I mean, you gotta hustle, man. Some people don't make it for 10, 15 years. So I wanted something to fall back on, and I mean, I changed my minors so many times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was political communications, it was regular communications, it was journalism, then it was music and sound engineering, which that one I actually stuck with, right? So, fast forward into my freshman year, COVID happens.
Yep.
Right, and everything's on lockdown, and I mean, I'm stuck at home, and at this point, I had gone to a 7-Eleven with all my gear in the back because I would go out and shoot stuff just to practice.
Mm-hmm.
And,
camera stuff.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, my cameras, and I pull up to a 7-Eleven, and next thing you know, all my stuff is gone when I go inside and come back out.
Damn, where were you?
I was. I mean, it was a 7-Eleven right next to my house.
Oh, so out in Woodbridge.
Yeah.
Please be safe out there in Woodbridge, everybody.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, it was like $3,000-$4,000 worth of stuff.
Wow.
So that mean, after that happened, it was sort of like, I mean, obviously I wasn't working. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I could really do, no practice. So the fire inside me sort of just died.
Yeah.
But then that's when I started focusing more on my music. That's when I really sort of started learning how to play the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, honestly, that whole lockdown period was like almost 2 years. Yeah, that really, really helped a lot.
Yeah,
in terms of,
I feel like it helped a lot of us. I mean, a lot
yeah,
of
I think
build
so.
Skill, either I mean, maybe negative skills or positive skills, but at the end of the day, a lot of people did learn something from lockdown and
about themselves.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because I mean, that's all you were with. You were just locked in the crib with just mano y mano. You and your within soul, just chilling, talking to each one another, and you can't go outside and talk to a friend.
Well, the thing I realized that I hate being home. And that's not even because of my family or anything. It's just like I don't typically just like being in one place at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't go to the gym, which also sucked because I was in the middle of my powerlifting phase. Right, I was powerlifting, and my first competition was March of, or it might have been May of 2020, which is right after the lockdowns hit. So they canceled it. Not being able to go to the gym and just sort of chilling at my house, doing music or whatever, I needed to get out the house, right? So I took up running, which I was talking to you about earlier. And I mean, that helped a lot mentally, I think. I think going outside and just being in the wilderness by yourself is...
It's like a runner's high, yeah. A lot of people do enjoy running over weightlifting or doing other type of forms of cardio. They just really enjoy the runner's high.
I mean, it's fun, It's you're by yourself. There's no one around, and it's just you, trees, and the lake that was near my house.
It's like a form of meditation or therapy.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. So it cleared me up mentally for sure. And I think it helped me get through the pandemic a lot. But after everything started opening up, obviously I ran out of time to start running again. And, school opens back up, and at this point, I'm just trying to graduate, not really focused on what I'm going to do afterwards. Right? I was lost in that sense. And, one day my academic advisor sent out an email saying that Washington was offering internships.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and going into Mason, I knew that was a thing because I had done some research, and I saw that Washington was always opening positions for internships.
Yep.
So I decided to go ahead and apply, and I think it was not even 3 days later, I get an email back saying that they'd like to interview me. And I thought the interview went well.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly my boss did as well. I was pretty nervous at first.
Well, I would be too.
I mean, I had no idea what was gonna happen. I didn't know what the job actually entailed.
Yeah.
I didn't know how many hours I'd be getting. I didn't know how many other candidates there were.
Your eyes just lit up as soon as you saw Redskins
man.
internship.
Yeah.
Click apply.
Yeah. I mean, that was, God, I was so nervous. I remember I did the interview at my girlfriend's house actually through Zoom, and I just told her, just shut up, just be really quiet, because I cannot mess this up, man. I mean, I was sweating bullets. Right?
This is when I got for AWS. I was the same way, bro. I was like, please, everybody, you know what? Just get out of the house. It's not even my house.
Dude, I mean, I had the whole, the fit too, right? Where I had like the collared shirt and like the suit on, but not the pants.
No. We had pajamas underneath.
Yeah. So, I mean, eventually he ended up telling me that he'll hire anyone as long as either they played ball or did video, and I just happened to do both. So I got hired along with one of my other guys. His name is oh god, this is gonna be bad if I don't remember his name.
You don't remember his name?
Miscellaneous person. John Doe. John Doe. Stop playing with me. But yeah, you were hired with John Doe.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, with John Doe. Yeah.
We'll keep it moving.
John Doe, who knows who John Doe is?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Doesn't say his name.
Well, I got hired for a part-time position, right? It was part-time, so we would still have to show up to practice every single day, and we would work during home games, but never away games.
And it was an internship, right?
Yeah, this was an internship. So
can I ask one thing? Was it a paid internship?
Yeah. So the year I ended up interning was the first year it became a paid internship.
Oh wow, lucky for you.
I mean, I think it's because of the laws that changed around minimum wage and who gets paid. So I think now every internship is paid.
Okay.
At least around here.
Yeah.
So, season goes by. Obviously, we don't make the playoffs, but it was cool to make those connections with some of the players and get to know them personally.
Was that the season 2020?
21.
Oh, it's 2021/2022.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That was. I mean, I don't even know who our quarterbacks. I think it was Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick was our quarterback, and then Alex Smith came back after his leg injury, because I think that right? Then it was Heineke after that. So yeah, I got to meet all those guys, and those they're all cool people. I think everyone I've met has been pretty cool. But after the internship ended, I thought that was it. Right? I mean, I had my foot in the door, but I didn't really know what to do next.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it so much, and the fact that it was over, I was like, man, it's like, this could be my career, but how do I get to that point?
Like, how do you solidify it?
Yeah. Exactly. So I go back to school the next semester, and it's a story for, I guess we can save it to the end. But I ended up going on a trip to film some stuff. And
we'll get to that. Yeah.
And on that trip, I got a call. Well, my academic advisor again sent another email saying that they're offering the internship again. And at this, I saw it, and I'm like, you know what? I'll let other people have a chance. Because I don't want to.
Wow, it's pretty noble of you. I will not lie.
Well,
I would have taken that immediately.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I figured other people would want to try it.
Yeah, right? It is an opportunity of a lifetime in some sense. Yeah.
Exactly. So, a week later, she sends a follow-up email saying, "Last chance. This is the last call for any internship applications." So I emailed her back, and I'm like, "Hey, how many people applied?" And she's like, "Not many." She's like, "Not many people applied. I don't know what's going on." Right? And I'm like, okay. So I texted my assistant manager, Big Mike, and I'm like, "Hey, if you guys need anybody, I'm always open to doing some more work with you guys. I mean, I loved it last year, right?" He's like, "All right, well."
This was going into this year.
Yeah. He's like, I'll let you know. Right. So, I'm on this trip, and thank the Lord that I was in a place that had Wi-Fi.
Bro, I was just thinking that.
Because outside of that place, I mean, my phone was useless.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to where this hidden place is by the end of it, everybody.
So I get a call from my boss. His name is Bracken, and he's like, "Hey, you did a great job with us last year. You took care of us, so we want to take care of you. We have this full-time internship open this year. Do you think you'd be interested?" Right? I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah, I'd be interested. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
To do it all again, full-time this time, be around more of the coaches, more of the players, be actually part of the team."
Mm-hmm.
So, that ended up. That's how that ended up happening.
Okay, that's where we are now.
Yeah, well, that's where we are now. 9 months ago, I guess.
9 months.
I guess not even 9 months. Almost a year ago. But
it was when you got the call.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, this was summer. No, not summer. This was like right before the summer of 2022.
Okay.
Sorry, spam call.
You're good.
Well,
they always want your insurance information, don't they?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Didn't tell me about it.
Fuck them.
For real.
Stop playing.
So yeah, that is who Francisco is up to this point in his life, past freshman year of high school. Really is a up and down story.
So are you still a full-time internship, or is it now a full-time job, or?
So the way it ended up working out this year was actually kind of crazy. Originally, most of the responsibilities that I was gonna take, I mean, it really wasn't gonna be that much, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, my main job is to film coaches' video, so we film all the practices and we film all the games. Our department really doesn't do much creative work, right? It's just mostly transferring videos between colleges to the NFL and communicating with other teams and communicating with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So more of like the boring things that most people don't really think about.
Mm-hmm.
But last season, the 2021 season, some of the coaches, mostly defense, wanted some creative videos, right? Some creative hype videos.
Yeah.
We had a guy named Julian who ended up going to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
He would do these videos for him, and it'd be like,
with the team, like the Vikings.
Yeah, he went to the Vikings.
Shout
And
out.
the team, they liked it. They something that they would play Saturday nights before each game.
Mm-hmm.
And they just wanted more of it. So, I heard my assistant manager, Mike, talking about it with my coworker, Will, because Will also edits videos, right? He's like, hey, I think they're going to want to amp it up a bit, right?
Yeah.
So I overheard the conversation. And so I got my hard drive full of stuff that I've done before for the high school team, and I ended up showing Mike, and he liked my stuff a lot. So he's like, you know what? We'll give you a shot. See what you have. So I think it was week 2. I don't remember who we played week 2, but that was my first defensive video.
I think you guys played. I don't remember either. I know you guys played the Jaguars week 1.
Yeah, we played Jags week 1.
Week 2 it might have been the Lions.
I don't think
that sounds familiar. I think it might have been the
Lions. Because I remember everyone was like, "Oh, Eagles are shitty. Wait till they play the Lions next week, and the Commanders are gonna show them how it's done." Y'all lost.
No, we beat the Lions.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah. I think it was close. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
No, I do remember. Y'all destroyed them, and then the Lions started coming back. I think that's how it was working.
Well, I ended up doing the defensive videos Saturday night for that week, and I had some help with Will, right? Because we were both just collaborating. He does turnover tapes, which are played on Thursdays. It's turnover Thursdays. So he'll get all the turnovers from the league or the turnovers that we've had, put them all in the video, and give it to them.
So is that to the defensive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for Saturday nights, that's more of just like highlights from the prior game.
Okay.
Right. Some tackles, sacks, picks, whatever.
Oh, is in the highlight videos?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. And it wasn't until week 7 where Coach Ron Rivera,
mm-hmm.
He ended up catching wind of this. Actually, you know what? It was Detroit.
The second week,
yeah, because I remember the video I did. We used the 8 Mile scene, the final rap battle.
Dope. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, and we put Cole Holcomb's face, who's a white linebacker, onto Eminem's face, and the whole Lions team was obviously the other guys. So that was defense loved it. They were mean. They were crying, laughing.
Bro, that's just so crazy to me. Like when you're around such high level athletes, to put it very bluntly, does it ever make you feel like they're just another person? Like, does it take the high level part of it?
So when I first got there last year, walking into that facility, I mean, I was starstruck, right? I mean, you got the Lombardi trophies right there in the hallway. You got, you walk downstairs to where the office is, and there are players walking back and forth around. I mean, one of the first things I filmed was a drill with Brandon Sheriff in it, right? And I was a huge Brandon Sheriff fan, and so to see him just, go do his drills and then just have a casual conversation with me. I mean, he introduced himself to me, right? Hey, my name's Brandon. I'm like, I know who you are, bro. you don't but I appreciate that.
I play with you in Madden, man.
I have your ultimate team card. Just quick sold it.
Yeah, I mean, I have those moments a lot. And I think this year, Kendall, me and Kendall, we're not, I wouldn't say that we're close, but we have conversations here and there.
Kendall, who is that?
Kendall Fuller.
Oh,
yeah.
Kendall Fuller. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a corner, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The Commanders.
Yeah. So, I remember him introducing himself to me and asking me what my name was. So it's we interact a lot during the sideline. That's for sure. But where was I? Oh yeah, week 7 comes by. Coach sees that the defense is loving these videos, so he wants to take a look at them. And he has his own videos that he plays on Saturday nights for the team. It's something that his daughter does for the team, and they're cool videos. I think the majority of people like them. I think everyone likes them, but he comes up to my assistant assistant manager Mike, and he's like, hey, I think we're gonna want to start some team videos from you guys, right? Because clearly the defense loves it, and I think it'd be good for the team. So, and this was, like I said, week 7. I think we played Green Bay. Might have been week 8. It was Green Bay or Indy. Indy was our first official team tape that was Hollywood themed. That's why I remember that one. And the team loved it because we were poking fun at guys, right? I mean, Andrew Norwell, he's one of our guards on our line, and he's this dude's a bear, man. This dude's huge, right? He's got like the full-grown beard, long hair, and we compared him to, I think it might have been like Michael Myers or someone like really big. Oh, it might have been Leatherface.
I've never even heard of Leatherface.
Yeah, it's like this huge, like he looks like a mammoth, essentially, right? Scary Terry, we did Freddy Krueger. Right.
Yeah. That's dope.
So we poke fun of guys all the time. Offense, Scott Turner, he wanted his own videos also for the offense. So we did one for Jacksonville and Detroit.
Is Scott Turner the offensive coordinator? Or
yeah.
You say it with hesitation. You just left that facility today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it is something.
No, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He today actually he got
the boot.
Yeah, he got released by a team.
Blessings. We pray for my man.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it goes well.
He'll get it back.
He'll get another job definitely. I mean, he's an awesome guy. I mean, I think one time in the office he came and just slipped us a quick bill. As like a thank you, and then he didn't have to do that. I mean, I don't expect anyone to do that for us, but he was nice enough to do that. He's awesome. I love Scott Turner.
So at one point, were you doing all the videos? Or, I mean, not all the videos, but all the. So you had offense, defense, that was for each coach, and then you had the team video that would be played as like a hype video. before the game. So you had all three of those.
So the team video would actually be played on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
And the other video that we didn't make would be played on Saturday nights, right? So we went from just coaches' videos to a straight video production team. I mean, it was, you had the turnover tape, you had the defensive Saturday night, and then you had the team. And occasionally you would have offense, but, Scott realized how busy we were already with 3 videos. Mm-hmm. So, he stopped asking us because he ended up just liking the team videos since it's, it includes his offense guys. So it's 3 videos, and at one point it became 4 videos a week because I got in charge of doing defensive legends, right? What's so that? Guys like
legends on that.
Like London Fletcher, Champ Bailey, Dave Butts.
Bailey's the goat.
Yeah. So a bunch of defensive legends.
Ryan Kerrigan, right?
Yeah, Ryan Kerrigan. He was on that list.
You said Ryan Kerrigan actually. He saw your video like when it was released, right?
Yeah. So it's funny. The first guy who actually ended up seeing my video was London Fletcher. A video of him. And I mean, his reaction was just so awesome, man. Cause
authentic.
He got so hyped up, and he was ready to just put some pads on and go back out there, man. I mean, that was awesome. Yeah. And then with Ryan Kerrigan, I mean, me and him, I consider him a friend. Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy to say that considering he's my favorite player growing up.
Favorite player growing up. Yeah. Played that dude Madden, used to make him a 99 overall and shit. Yeah. And now you like talk to him.
Stuff. He comments about remember when I had long hair? I had long hair. He would comment about it. When I chopped it off, he's like, "Dude, where'd your locks go, bro?" I gotta go back. I'm like, I know, I'm getting there. We'll talk Saturdays usually, during the walkthroughs, just have casual conversations here and there. But when he saw his video, I mean, he was in that defensive meeting, right? When he was watching that video, and the song that we chose, personally, I didn't want to, use that song because it was a little slow and cheesy, but I think that's what they were going for.
What song?
It was My Hero by why can't I remember the name?
No idea.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I have no idea what this song is.
Bro, why? Oh, hold on. I gotta look this up, man. I will get canceled if I don't.
Swear, Terry McLaurin's watching right now. He's like, bro, what the fuck? What the fuck, Big Outs? Come on, Big Outs.
The Foo Fighters, man.
Okay.
I know the Foo Fighters.
And the song essentially is just talking about, my hero, right? And so we used that song with Ryan Kerrigan, and all the defensive guys were just singing it back to him afterwards. I mean, he hated it, man. It was funny. Just so funny.
That's good.
Yeah, it's... so it ended up being 4 videos a week for, I'd say, about 8 weeks straight. Mm-hmm. And I think it was the week before our bye week, Coach hit us with he wanted another team video before the team video, right? So one we would play on Friday. And, I mean, we were scrambling to do that, and it ended up working out. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the defensive video sort of took a hit, in terms of quality, just because, I mean, I think we were all burnt out from just working, I think it was 13 weeks straight, producing these videos, and, going from 2 a week to 5, it was just, it's a lot. And, I mean, there were a lot of sleepless nights, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a workload thing. Like, you try to pick up on a habit that was so, like...
Yeah.
Like you had the micro habit and you did the small videos at a time, and then you try to just jump into something full floor. It's like it's like pushing a baby into the pool and like, swim, bitch, but like it's not gonna know how to swim. It's gonna know how to float there. And do whatever. So I definitely felt that with like working out or like other things I've tried to do in my life too.
So with the extra videos, did there come any extra incentive, or were you just because you were asked?
I mean, I guess originally it was mostly just because I was asked. Mm-hmm. But like I said, we turned from just a coach's video department to a full-fledged video production. So, it was at one point it switched from me doing it because I was asked to me doing it because I know that it's for the team. They love it. Mm-hmm. It puts everyone in a better mood, and I thought I had a pretty good chance of being brought back because of the impact, right, mm-hmm. that my videos had. Credit to Will too, because a lot of it, I definitely couldn't do it by myself. Mm-hmm. The only reason why we were able to do 4 videos a week, 5 videos a week was because of him helping out mm-hmm. As much as he can and him doing the turnover tapes.
Well, I will say that that when it comes to, what you can take away from that, even if there was no incentive in the moment, is that you showed that you can provide value. Exactly. So that in and of itself is irreplaceable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have a body of work, and if they like it, I'm sure they did like it. Yeah. So,
shit, they were asking for more.
Yeah,
dog.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, exactly.
I was about to say something out of pocket, but it's just like it's like if you go somewhere for food, you gonna come back for more. Like the same thing. Like they kept asking for more and more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's essentially what I wanted. That's what my goal was, mm-hmm. right? To be that guy. Mm-hmm. And it was definitely a team effort. Mike coming up with all the main ideas every week, and then Will and I being able to execute it. We ended up just becoming this insane machine. Mm-hmm. By the end of it, we actually calculated it all yesterday. It ended up being 79 videos in total, right, for the whole season.
GG.
And most teams don't get more than 10 a season, right?
Oh, so you spoiled those players.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Dan Snyder, pay up.
Yeah. Actually, Bezos, right? Is in the next ring of owners.
Man, I have no idea.
That's right.
I have zero idea. Crickets. But yeah, no, as much as we quote unquote spoiled these guys, mm-hmm. I think it all ended up being for a reason. I think.
Yeah. I definitely feel that the work put in is something that you will get paid for in one way or another, because it was of abundance. Like, you knew you could do it. You did it because you were asked, and you had no issue doing it. So, mm-hmm. and you knew it was for, like you said, the greater purpose. They all liked it.
Exactly.
So, if you're helping other people first, then that's always going to come back around.
Right. Yeah. And it's something that my boss Bracken has always said. You take care of us, we'll take care of you. Mm-hmm. Right. So, it's nice that we're all taking care of each other. It really does make you. It makes you realize how much
of an impact,
right? Every person has mm-hmm. Within a team. That's why it's a team, right?
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
I kind of want to segue off of the providing value. Segue that into, if anyone's looking to work for, we'll start with the NFL. Work for the NFL. Of all the departments that you've seen in the facility, and even of your own department, if the people watching, if that's the way they want to go, what is something that they can do? I know you said you got the opportunity from college, so colleges give opportunities that are outside of the college to mm-hmm. give you that experience. So, I never went to college to take an opportunity like that, but I know you're glad you did. Mm-hmm. Even if it wasn't school-based, it definitely offered a insight into a life of every sports lover's dream, if they're not one to play. Anyways, what are some things that people can do to get their foot in the door or work on their own to give themselves an opportunity to be a part of a sports organization?
I'd say for any sports organization, really, you just got to put yourself out there, right? Mm-hmm. You can't be afraid to take a step towards something. The worst they can say is no, right?
Exactly.
Something that I realized is huge is actually LinkedIn. LinkedIn is huge. Of all people,
Ben Carey put me on, and of course, like everyone's used it in high school. Like all the people I grew up with use mm-hmm. it, but for a connection standpoint, it's like it's literally like cracked. Like it's very good.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm connected with I think close to 400 people, and the majority of them are video coordinators. Right.
Wow.
It's from
across the league.
Yeah, across the league, across the country with colleges. Mm-hmm. Right. So in reality, I could just hit them up on LinkedIn. Hey, be like, hey, I'm working for the Commanders. Is there an opportunity to maybe work under you? Or
what's crazy is, I mean, not crazy, but I made that connection. You obviously you put in the time, the hours, the countless hours to learn all that video editing, but you did it for someone else. You can do it for anybody else. You're not locked in by any sort of parameter because you have the skill that is so malleable. And anybody that has a business and wants an online presence, they're going to need someone to edit their videos or shoot their videos or give them tips on how to make their videos better.
So it's just a start.
It's just a start.
Yeah, exactly.
So picking up off that, I mean, do you want to finish what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be just video, right? I mean, there are so many departments that people don't realize, with just any professional team, right? I mean, I didn't even know the video department was a thing. I didn't know, it never occurred to me that someone out there needs to film the practices for them to watch.
Dude, they're so that's how I was.
It's
like I didn't think there were people that made these signs. I didn't think people,
exactly,
but
right?
it makes sense because it's in our reality. There's some people that just make the covers to those books or make certain parts of these headphones.
Exactly. I mean,
sorry guys, we had an audio complication, so we're just gonna pick up the conversation where we left off. So we'll get right back into it. But we did talk about how it is to handle how you got into your profession, how it is interacting with the athletes that you do and coaches, of course, but not only them, the staff. But do you have any interesting stories that you like to tell or you have gone through in life that has to do with these athletes or just anything, top of your head that has to do with the film?
I mean, crazy stories within the organization, not really. I mean, other than just being able to travel and do things in different cities. In terms of just my career in general with film and video, I've told you guys before about this story with Costa Rica. I mean, I know I told you. I don't know if I've told you.
Matt was dying for you to tell this story right before when the podcast started. He even brought that up earlier. In the segment.
Essentially, so we were doing this documentary. Well, I was in this documentary class and we were supposed to make our own documentaries or whatever. And one of the students had talked about wanting to do a documentary in Costa Rica because he has a friend over there who does triathlons, right? And so, there was a timeline coming up and I didn't really have any ideas. I mean, I had some, but they just weren't going to work out because of time and different schedules or whatever. So one day we're in class and he's talking about it. He's talking about how he's going to go in a week. And, I look to him and I'm like, can I go? He looks at me. He's like, are you serious? Like,
what, to where? To Costa Rica?
To Costa Rica. Right. And I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, why not? Right. And he's like, I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know any Spanish, so I guess you'd help. I'm like, yeah. And this was the second time I was going to leave the country. The first time was in 2014 when I went to El Salvador. But, I mean, my parents, they wouldn't let me go to different states on my own because they just didn't trust me, I guess. So I'm like, there's no way they're going to let me go to Costa Rica. There's just no way. I go to my parents. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go film a documentary in Costa Rica. They're like, yeah, all right. And I'm like, what? I'm like, and they're like, yeah, Costa Rica isn't as dangerous as the U.S., so it's fine. Okay, I guess. So, I spend $600 on the plane ticket,
There and back?
No.
Just one way?
One way.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Get my stuff. I leave in a week. So very last minute, I had to call off work and stuff. And I mean, I just went. And
was it just you?
It was me and the director. His name is Sean, and we were gonna stay at his friend's house, Esteban, and he's the one who's doing all this training and stuff for the triathlon. And we were waiting. We got there and we hung out for a couple days. We were waiting on one more guy to come in and help us. And that day comes. We go to the airport to pick him up, and the the place you go to pick up people is just insanely full because there's just a bunch of tourists.
Yeah.
And we see him come, right? And he's like checking his pockets, and he left his phone in he doesn't even know where, just inside the airport somewhere, right? And so he's trying, and he's Asian. He's trying to go back, right? And security's like, no, you cannot go back at all, like no exceptions. And I'm trying to explain to the security guard in Spanish that this guy left his phone there, and then he needs his phone because he's from the United States, not from here. He can't just not have a phone. And eventually what happens, they let just him in. I think he's escorted by one of the security officers, and he goes, it's like this whole thing, bro, and we have to wait for like an hour to 2 hours for him to come back or whatever.
That's crazy.
But I mean, the craziest thing that we did there were two stories. The place where he was training was in his sort of community, right? Which is fine. You know, we would just follow him around, drive around. I'd have my head out the window with the camera in my hand trying to track him. The driving there is insane. So the actual competition is 5 hours away near the southwest coast of Costa Rica. There's a little place called Golfito. And the athlete, Esteban, he goes a day before we do. And, you know, I book us an Airbnb over there. So we're driving there, you know, we get to our Airbnb, it's nice and chill. The day of the competition, it was like 98 degrees out with like 80% humidity.
For a triathlon?
Yeah, for the triathlon.
Talk about Virginia weather is nothing compared to that.
No, dude. It was probably the hottest day I've ever had to live through. I mean, that was horrible. And we weren't even supposed to be there, to be honest. We got lucky because the finish line was right in front of our Airbnb, and we were just trying to figure out we were trying to map the route that they were going to take. Because the way it works is they swim first, then they bike, then they run. Right? So it was nice that it ended right in front of us.
Is it bad that I only know what that is, like the triathlon, because of GTA?
Wait, there's a triathlon in
GTA? There's a triathlon in GTA, and it improves your stamina like a lot.
What?
So I would run a triathlon with Michael and go crazy. I'd be out swimming everybody like Michael Phelps, but no, you can pick up.
Well, apparently you needed a pass or some sort of clearance to film or even be there as like a guest for the triathlon. We didn't know that. We just showed up with cameras. Yeah. So they just let us through, right? Because they were like, "Oh, these guys are important." It wasn't until the finish line where one of the security guys came up to us. They're like, "Where's your pass?" And we're like, "What?" And oh man, I'm on like the side of the finish line because there's like a little fence, so I'm waiting for him to pop up. We have one guy at the end of the start of the finish line, filming him coming in, and then our last guy is right in front of the finish line so that he can film him coming through it. And he got the money shot like a second before the security guard like basically almost broke his camera.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They don't play in Costa Rica.
Nah, they don't, man. I mean, it's their fault for being stupid, bro. They didn't even check us.
Yeah.
No offense. I mean, I love those people. But the security guard specifically was just really dumb. On our way back, though, back to his house was insane. Because we could have gone two ways. The first way was the way we came from, which was safe. It was just... it's like this fucking 300-mile... road that just goes straight for hours.
I would lose it.
Dude, oh my god, that was the worst. So we could either go that way, or we could go through the mountains. Well, let's go to the mountains.
Yeah, let's go
right?
sightseeing.
Yeah, exactly. Right, it's sick, right? It'd be great. Yeah. So we're going through the mountain, and of course, maybe 3 hours in. No, not now. Like 2 hours in, there was like a storm passes by, and we're on a mountain. Now this mountain the roads are insanely like narrow, right? And they're super windy. Yeah. So we're driving this Suzuki, and I mean, God, this car is fucking awesome because it has so much horsepower for how little it is. It was awesome. So we were, going up the mountain, and on our way up, we would see people sort of like on the side of the road or like a flipped car or something, and it was like,
oh my god.
And we had Esteban's brother in the car with us to sort of give us directions. He's like, oh yeah, dude, I didn't know we were going through the mountain of death. We're like, what? What? You mentioned this now when we're going up the mountain and there's no way to go back. He's like, dude, I thought we were going to a different one. And
it's like a Family Guy skit.
Dude. So we get all the way to the top, okay? And I shit you not, dude. I was like shaking, dude.
Yeah, I would be too. If someone said the mountain of death and they're from the area, I would have been like, what?
The top of the mountain it's so unreal. No, it's like I wanted to keep going because the clouds were starting to set in, and I could just tell that if we waited any longer, like, we would be in for the worst ride of our lives. But they wanted to stop because we were at the very top, and there was like a cloud. There was like a carpet of cloud under us, and it was like just the most insane thing I've ever seen. But then there was also like, it was like hills on top of the mountain with like houses and shit. But it was just giving me really, really bad vibes, man, because there was like a random house, like an abandoned house to like right in front of us, but then there were also dogs there that looked vicious.
Oh my god.
Right, and dude, I was like, dude, we gotta go, man, we gotta go. And the wind was starting to pick up, and it was like
the dogs were probably freaking out because of the storm.
Yep, yep, crazy. It was something out of a movie scene, man. I was like, oh my god, dude, we gotta get the fuck out. So after half an hour, we finally get back in the car, and we're going back down.
Okay. Such a long time.
And at this point, dude, it's pitch black out, right? It's not, but it's not even nighttime. It's like 5, right? And it's like pitch black. There's an insane amount of fog. Like, I couldn't see 2 feet in front of me, dude. Like, the fog was just so bad because and then the rain starts pouring down, and then you hear the fucking thunder and the lightning, and my stomach just could not handle it, dude. I had to take a shit so bad. So we get back to the no, we're not even like halfway down. We're like a quarter of the way down, and there's like this little shop. I go in there, do what I need to do, come back out, and it's just gotten worse. Like the storm and so, I'm the one driving, okay? Because I don't trust anyone else to drive. Yeah, the whole time? I do not trust anyone else to drive. So I'm driving, okay, and we're just trying to survive. And there are a bunch of cars in front of it. It's like a line of cars, but they keep brake checking each other on accident because they can't see each other because of the fog. And it's pouring. It's like piss pouring. I've never experienced anything like it, dude. That has to be one of the scariest ones, dude. Oh my god. On our way down, we see another flipped car completely flipped over with like a stranded family, and we couldn't do anything to help them, dude. It just it sucks. It sucks, but yeah, man, we just continued all the way down, and eventually we made it back to the
bottom.
Yeah, the bottom. We made it back to the house, and we were fine. But dude, I don't ever want to experience that ever again, dude.
I wouldn't mean doing it. The mountain of death just sounds like something. Oh, you ever watch Total Drama Island?
Yeah,
that's literally what the first thought of my brain was. I was like, the mountain of death. Like, I can't even imagine the emotions or just the physical feelings that you felt as going up and then sitting at the top. And then just knowing that you have to go down.
I really wish we had a behind the scenes person.
Did you film any of it?
No, dude. We took pictures, but that's about it. Oh well, I think we did. We might have filmed a little bit on our phones. But I wish we had an extra guy or an extra camera there for behind the scenes, because it would have been such a great behind the scenes. But we did so many things that And I mean, the documentary itself too turned out, perfect. It's exactly what we wanted.
What's the documentary called for the people?
Try Hard.
Try Hard.
Yeah, Try Hard. TRI hard.
Okay.
As in like triathlon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man. I mean, and again, the people there were freaking awesome, except for the people in Gofito.
And the one security guard
and
fucked you over.
Yeah, exactly. But everyone else there was incredible. Everyone, the family of Esteban, they hosted us there. They didn't have to, but they did. That was really nice of them.
Mm-hmm.
We had gone out to eat. We had gone out to some bars. We met a bunch of their friends, and that was really nice. Mm-hmm. So I mean, overall, it was a very nice trip. And I wish. I hope to go back. Meet those guys again.
One thing that I take away from this is just the unique opportunity, bro. Like,
so that's the thing, dude. It's like
you really not that you went on this out of a whim, but you went you went into this with just like, I mean, obviously you needed it for the class, but not everybody would just pack up their shit and go.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I didn't even really do it for the class. Like she said we would get extra credit for helping, but it wasn't my documentary, right? Like, I'm not the one who came up with it. I don't know, man. It's just something about me was just like, just jump in, jump into it. Just take a step.
Kind of just like your intuition took over, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm not the kind of guy to just like do that. To just be like, hey, I'm going to Costa Rica next week. I just made that decision.
I'm the same way though. I agree.
Yeah. That would take months of planning for me, and for me to just be able to do that, I don't know what happened, but I'm glad I did it. Yeah. That's for sure.
Was that same mindset with the Commanders thing? Like, just kind of jump all in without like really conceptualizing like where it could go or the opportunity that could come from it.
Kinda. I mean, like I said, before I even got into college, I had searched up their program, and I saw that they had opportunities with Washington, and so, yeah, I mean I never actively thought about it afterwards, but once an opportunity came up, there's never a reason not to apply.
Yeah, right? For sure.
If you get it, you get it.
You
don't. I mean, you just move on.
And it was kind of like that. Were you gonna ask questions there?
Nah, I just zoned out.
Oh, okay.
So hard.
Oh, it was like that with my opportunity to go work for AWS. Like, I was given the opportunity, and I was unhappy with my situation and where I was going with college at the time. So I had that same sort of intuition. I was like, you know what, this is just something I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna jump into it and just give my best effort towards it. And look at you, bro. You got life experience out of that Costa Rica trip. Something that is unique to, a large majority of people to work on a documentary, like something that we would see on Netflix. Because I've watched the whole thing. It's actually really, really well done.
You watched the triathlete thing?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, I was going to ask after we were done to watch, I want to see the Mountain of Death, and then I want to see the video.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And so, that all kind of goes into what we were talking about earlier in the first part of this episode when it comes to that skill set that you build just based off of opportunity in film. And I'm learning more the more I talk to you and the more that you go through your film career. Like, it is opportunity based, and like the way that the experience that you get from just diving into different things. Like, you went from filming a triathlon to filming for a professional sports team.
It's so weird how that happens, though. Yeah. 10 years ago, if you had told me, hey, you're going to be, first of all, you're going to go to Costa Rica, and in Costa Rica, you're going to get a call from the Commanders asking you to come back as full-time. Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, after the season, you might actually stay as like a
full-time employee.
Yeah, exactly. You're crazy, bro.
Yeah, crazy.
What are you talking about?
Shit, you told me that 10 years ago. I'm still playing Madden with these players. That's
what I'm saying. I don't know what are you talking about? Oh, by the way, you're also going to, have casual conversations with Ryan Kerrigan. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about, bro? Well, no, I'm not.
Yeah, Ron Rivera on the contact list.
Yeah. What? No.
Yeah. It's crazy how far you can go just based off your intuition.
It's crazy not knowing what's going to happen in, even 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
So much can happen in 6 months. Mm-hmm. Even 2 months. Mm-hmm. You never know.
Yeah, I agree for sure. I feel like, but only time can tell, and all you can do is just focus on right now.
Yeah,
that's how exactly. That's how you got in that position, is just being present and being just aware with what you wanted to do with your life at the time, and then you just got blessed, or you could say blessed, but you were prepared for that moment, and you just took the opportunity.
Yeah, now it's the end of the season. Looking back, I now have the time to appreciate, where I'm at, and sort of plan for the future. During the time off that we had from this, I made that.
Yeah, the portfolio.
Yeah, the portfolio. That is definitely an important thing for anyone who does anything creative, I think.
Yeah, do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah.
About what your portfolio... I mean, not what you... I mean, you could say what your portfolio is about, but like you said, the importance of it.
It's I actually applied for the Daily Wire, just at the off chance that I get it, because they needed a video editor, and they pay a pretty decent, pretty decent, but I didn't have a portfolio, right? And it was going to take me a while to make one. So, I wanted to apply ASAP, so I just sent them a bunch of private YouTube links, and obviously that's going to be like, what are you doing?
They probably get 1 million of those a day.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, man, I sat down. I'm like, let me just take a week to make a portfolio with everything that I've done, and just put it out there.
Yeah.
Right? So, that includes the documentary, short films, all the solo creative work that I've done, some of the videos for Washington that I've done, Photoshop projects, live events, all that stuff. Because I feel like I don't. I have all that stuff stored, but it's all myself, What's the point of making things for yourself if it's, unless it's like for practice? If it's things that you want to get noticed by, people out there, then you got to put it out, right?
Yeah. No one's gonna see it if you don't show someone.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the reasons I made it. And if I apply to different teams or apply to different jobs that require a portfolio, I'll have it there.
Yeah, for sure.
My music's on there too, I forgot.
Yeah. But this conversation was definitely enlightening to get a different perspective of how fields I'm not interested in, how they operate. Because, I don't give a shit about film or cameras. I do this shit, I have to learn about it. But, definitely not any of my interest in my previous 21 years of life. So hearing someone's perspective on the way they operate and do their business is definitely intriguing to me, because I want to learn more about certain fields.
Yeah, knowledge is power, right? You can never hurt to learn.
And you never know what things you learn along the way apply to things that you're going through, the things that you do.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's been... if you told me 2 years ago that the stuff that I went through or stuff that I've gone through would lead me to a point of talking in front of a camera, that would go over my head. Same thing with him. Like, him filming for Robinson. Or was
Lake Braddock.
Lake Braddock,
yeah. I don't know why I thought about Robinson.
But, close enough.
Yeah, close. I tried. But filming with them, I just showed you 2 years ago. If someone told you that, or 3 years ago they told you that, you'd be like, I'm not doing that.
I remember going up to my teacher and, essentially telling her that I was gonna maybe think about doing film, and she was just emphasizing how much of a hustle that is. And I'm like, I know. And she's like, no, you don't. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't know yet.
Fuck that.
You're gonna be rejected 1 million times over. And yeah.
But that's the thing. Through all the no's, the couple yeses that you did get, bro, they've created life experience that is going to propel you forward to something that is super unique.
Yeah, and that actually brings me to it reminds me of the story that I was telling you about with my the coach, one of our coaches. I was telling this to Matt earlier. We have a coach named Juan Castillo. He's our tight end coach. His story is just insane as to how he got to where he is now. It started with him coaching in high school. And he played in college at Texas A&I, which is a D2 school. He got a job there as a coach, I think it was I think it was a tight end coach, and he sent lineman coach. He was a line coach. He sent 4 of his linemen to the NFL. 3 of them became Pro Bowlers.
Dope.
Yeah, going from D2 to, all Pro Bowlers. Freaking, so that's impressive in itself. But he also wanted to get to the NFL. So what he would do is he would drive around the country during the off season and go to these seminars with O-line coaches, NFL O-line coaches. And he would go every year, so much so that they started to
realize who he was.
Exactly. They would meet him. He would have these personal relationships with these coaches. And the crazy part is he didn't have any money. Mm-hmm. So he wouldn't be able to sleep at a hotel or a motel or anything. He would just sleep in his car. Mm-hmm. And the coaches would find out. So then he would sleep at these guys' houses. And, again, form that connection. And one day he was like, for the combine, I drove up to Indianapolis from Texas, and I saw John Gruden there.
That's far as hell.
Yeah. And so he met John Gruden. He's like, hey, coach, I just drove all the way from Texas. I heard that you were gonna need some assistant coaches, so I would love to be your line coach. If you hire me, right? And at this point, John Gruden was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles. So, he's like, thank you for your interest. I'll talk to head coach. We'll see what we can do. Then he walks away. And later on, he's eating lunch. John is. And he sees Castillo again. And Castillo comes up to him again. He's like, hey, coach, I would really love that line coach as your line coach for the Eagles. Right? He's like, thank you for your interest. I'll see what I can do. Right? And, John goes back to his hotel and he, forgets his card, his room card. So he goes back down to the lobby and there he is, Juan Castillo. Again, going up to him. Hey, coach, it's good seeing you. Like, I really want to be your line coach for the Eagles. And John was talking about how he saw Juan Castillo 14 times a day for 3 days. And eventually, I guess that's what got him hired as the line coach for the Eagles. And that was his dream. So he's coaching or whatever. Season ends. Their season ends early before the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs that year, and what that means is the Eagles fire their head coach at the time.
Right. Was it Chip Kelly?
I don't remember who it was.
That's the last coach we fired. Him or Peterson? Doug Peterson.
It was a black dude.
I have no fucking idea at all.
This was back in the 90s.
Oh wow.
No idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You said, you're about to get into. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he gets fired. And at this point, Juan is worried that the new head coach is gonna not keep him around. Gonna clear house. So there was a rumor going on that Andy Reid is gonna be the next.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Right before
Andy Reid is gonna be the new head coach. So what does he do? He gets into his car and he drives all the way up to Green Bay, right? And at this point, Green Bay is in the playoffs. Okay, Juan is in the parking lot. He gets there at night, sleeps in his car overnight, and the pile of snow is on his car. And I guess that's what kept him warm overnight, was all that insulation from the snow. And security comes out and they ask him what he wants. He says he wants to talk to Andy Reid. So security goes inside and they find Andy. And they're like, hey, do you know Juan Castillo? He's like, oh yeah, I know Juan Castillo. And he's like, well, he's outside. He wants to talk. So security brings him in, and Juan is like, coach, I would really, really love to be your line coach. I heard you're coming to the Eagles, right? And Andrew Reid looks at him. He's like, man, you are a crazy son of a bitch, bro. Yeah. So, and then obviously, he gets hired, and Juan stays. So that was that was such a crazy story. And then
the perseverance that he shows and how persistent he was definitely one of a kind, because the dude was there to show his value and just keep on pushing through.
It's crazy because he lived in his car for a long time before he I mean, he was talking about how he didn't know anything about being a line coach until he got hired the first time at Texas A&I. Mm-hmm. Right? He didn't know anybody in the NFL. He didn't know, he didn't know where to start. No, not to, I mean, his dad died when he was in 6th grade, and his mom died when he was in high school.
Wow, he just left to fend for himself.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So that's the part that's most impressive is that. Yeah, I mean, Andy Reid says there's no one who works harder than him in the NFL, and I mean, I can attest to that. He's definitely one of the first people in the building every day, and one of the last people out. And
I was just gonna say, bro, those aspects of people's work ethic are noticed.
Oh, 100%.
A lot of people think like, oh man, why am I trying so hard, bro? Because of stuff like this. That's why you try so hard, because you never know who's watching. You never know who could get you an opportunity.
Exactly.
Because, I definitely feel. Oh, my bad. But no, I definitely feel that with like the Apex shit. Like,
yeah,
I'll be on the game. I play the game, but what are the odds I'm playing with like some of these players that play professional on like the highest level, and I find myself in a Discord with them. So like, I definitely do attest to that as well.
Because you never know who's watching, and I mean, I don't know anyone who who even has any sort of success by themselves. Everybody has a helping hand along the way that guides them to something that can be a better opportunity for them.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, even me with AWS. I mean, we rekindled that friendship.
That's everything, bro. You can't do anything alone at the end of the day, because it's just like...
Yeah. Like I mean, all you can do is hustle.
Yeah, right, knowledge is power, bro. You can hustle on your own at the end of the day, but like, you need to build an empire with others.
Exactly. I mean, we met a guy. We went to a retro store today, and we pull up, and it's really weird because he texts me. He's saying that his retro store is inside a restaurant, which I never heard of. But okay, we go inside the restaurant, and he's in the back. He's like, "Hey, you here for clothes?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he takes us up. Out the back and upstairs, and he has his own little store in the back end.
Where was this?
It's right off of 50.
Yeah,
it's honestly like, I wouldn't say it as much as like a bodega, but like it is a little like thrift shop setup, and there's like lines and lines of clothes, all kinds of NFL gear, sports gear.
That's dope as
shit. He commented on my Jaguars thing. He was like, "Yo, like I'm surprised that's in such good condition," because it's like he's like
Shout
into that.
Grandpa.
Yeah, he's into that space for sure.
Old heads definitely keep everything in perfect condition. I don't know how they do it, bro. I wasn't trained to keep everything in perfect condition, but yeah.
Well, he was saying that the way he does it was he goes to thrift stores every day with his brother, and he just buys things that he thinks are that people would want, and he just resells them for what they're actually worth, which. That's one way, but that restaurant also that he was working above.
Do you guys eat there?
It's his own restaurant, yeah.
Oh, it's his own restaurant?
Yeah, his dad and his brother started it.
So he said when he graduated high school, he didn't know what he wanted to do. So at some point, someone came to him and was like, "Yo, do you want to own a restaurant?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So him and his brothers, decided to take on the restaurant, and then from there he was like, "Well, I have all these clothes, like I'm gonna sell them." So then he turned the upstairs into like the thrift. What's it called?
Yeah, it was like a
Nova Sales.
Yeah, Nova Sales.
Nova Sales on Instagram. I'll plug it in the.
Nova Sales _.
Yeah. Really cool dude, bro. He was like really down to earth. He talked to me and Fran about like our lives, what we do, where we're from, like how we view things. It was really cool. But yeah, moral of the story, bro. Hard work pays off every time.
Consistency,
yes. Yes.
Nah, I mean, we should probably wrap it up because it's been a little while. But, I mean, I'm sure this won't be the last time. This is a fire conversation. I want to hear more Mountain of Death stories once they come around in 6 months. Who knows? He might find himself in Costa Rica or, like, some other Mountain of Death around some South America. Before we do get off topic, I do want to thank y'all for watching today.
Appreciate it,
definitely like the enlightening conversation and hope y'all have a wonderful day. So, without further ado...
Yo,
GB King is out. GB King out.
With purpose.
Yeah, GG.